me a second, everybody. I need to open the manual. Manual consolidations. We talked about this one. Give me a second. Manual. How events, news events. We talked about this one. Hard time frames, everybody. Give me a second. And good morning, good evening, good afternoon. We're back with classes. Give me a second, everybody. Give me a second. Bringing all together. Stop loss, take profit from the manual. Remember, the manual is for free, everybody. The manual is for free. Alright, so see, it was the... I mean, I'm ignorant on the, Word, Excel, whatever. Golden nuggets, okay, next level. Give me a second. Counter trend lines, almost there. Next level again, and alright, give me a second. Alright, what is support, resistance, pivot point? We're here. Are we live? Yes, we are. Alright, everybody, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, students and traders all around the world. This is Mike, the FX boss, broadcasting you live on YouTube and other streaming platforms like Teams. Okay, remember, the goal is to bring you from zero to a millionaire trader in 3 years in an institutional way, institutional method, and as always, what does this mean? You are first an analyst. This is ouch, this hurts me. Good morning, Olga on YouTube, how are you? John, James, Paul, Max, Todd, Marcus, hello. Are we going to check the result from the trading weeks? Olga, we can check, but give me a second. The problem, everybody, with Forex is that, it's 30 days and then they are closing the, let me see if I can enter. See, everybody, account locked. So it's gone, I have no access to the account. I'm sorry, everybody. This is the problem with Forex. Okay, everybody. Okay, so now I'm sorry we cannot check. But next time, alright? There is no right or wrong anyway, everybody. And moving forward, if you want the manual, please ask for it. It's for free. And if you want the Forex, give me a second, everybody. And now the little book of trading secrets, which is about introduction to, Forex course 2, you have the mind traps. It's also for free. Please visit the website www.fxbossfx.com. Alright, and never forget, everybody, you are going to graduate from this course when number 1, you have your chart set up and ready for trading. Number 2, you have your strategy in place. You understand how you win, how you lose. And number 3, you have a complete understanding on how this market works, so you can analyze the market and make an educated prediction. Today we have, everybody, lesson 21. How the market moves at support, resistance and pivot points. Okay, and it says join the founder, where is going to learn how the market moves in support, resistance, pivot points, and which is crucial to learn and understand in timing and retracement trading. So everybody, we are starting chapter number 2, my English. Okay, hello Alex, how are you? Okay, everybody, so from the manual we are starting chapter number 2. Okay, and risk disclaimer, this stream is not trading or investment advice. We're here to learn. So today we're going to work on number 1 and number 3, everybody. Okay, you can follow Analyst on Demand. There is Heraldo in Portuguese, Julius in English if you want. You can, everybody, we don't talk a lot, it's too many, it's a lot of information. If you want to test yourself on Darwinex, here is the discount code, it's FX Boss. They're going to give you 50% discount on the monthly, monthly subscription. I believe it's 37 euros or dollars per month. And you can get funded on Darwinex. And in the end, connect on Teams, everybody. There is, you have all the world on Teams. You have KJ from Singapore, Mattia from Slovenia, Daniel, Croatia, Douglas, Melissa from US. not to waste too much time. Alright, everybody? And Give me a second. Moving forward, so let's talk about support, resistance, pivot points. And give me a second, everybody. I'm going to, and F11. This is JForex platform, by the way. We're using JForex and TradingView. Okay, so I'm going to clone chart, and I'm going to go to euro dollar just quickly, everybody. Euro dollar just quickly. All right. Charting, all right. Charting, everybody. Give me a second. Charting. So far, everybody, you should have the upper band on your, talking about charting, right? Remember, we finished the first chapter, and settings, I'm going to go general. I'm going to change the time zone, UTC and UTC, so it's going to show more candles. Give me a second. Okay, give it a second. Boss, which one is better, TradingView or JForex? TradingView is the best, if you ask me, you know, because you have alarms that JForex doesn't have. You have alarms on indicators. JForex doesn't have alarms on indicators, example, you know. So in my humble opinion, you know, and I'm not recommending anything, you know, I believe that TradingView is still the best. Okay, and so this is euro dollar, everybody, monthly chart, but there's always a but, right? But JForex, it's for free, everybody, makes sense? TradingView, you must pay for the advanced package. JForex, it's for free, it doesn't cost you a cent. Everybody, we just finished chapter number 1. So far, this is just an example. You should have monthly bands on all time frames, everybody, of that you are trading, on the assets that you're trading, on the currency pairs that you are trading. Okay, I'm going to use the monthly, not to waste too much time. All right, everybody. So you should have the monthly band so far on the chart. You should have the market wave so far on the chart. And now, of course, I need to go to the weekly because we don't see short-term trends, right? And you should have, everybody, short-term trends on the chart. Okay, everybody. This was the hedge fund trader Olga and hedge fund trader Alex on YouTube. Do you have everybody your charts? Are you building your charts? As a good analyst, you should have so far monthly bands. You should have so far, everybody, trend lines. Right? Do you have trend lines, everybody? Do you have trend lines on your chart? On all 4 time frames, you should have trend lines, you should have market wave, everybody, and of course you should have also short-term trends. All right, so just the last push. This is euro dollar weekly chart, not to waste too much time, right? And I'm going to connect low to high, which is not a high. Give me a second. Low to high, high to low, low to high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Talking about the short-term trend. Just an example, everybody, right? And then the market made the lower low, you know, and then it went here, you know, low to high, highs and lows, you know, connecting lows and highs, and then I need to make sense of those highs and lows anyway, you know, consolidations, whatever, you know. So it's low to high, high to low, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? This was the next trend on the weekly, of course, and then finally, you know, it's low to high, high to low, not a high, low to high, high to low, low to high. So this is the most recent trend, right? So this would be the trend line that monitors the uptrend. We have no downtrend in here, so there was no downtrend, right? Here we had the downtrend in here, lower lows, lower highs, and so far now this is the, you know, monitoring the uptrend, short-term uptrend, you know, on euro dollar weekly chart, right? Applause to Alex. Alex says, yes I do, yes I do have the 4 charts and everything, right? Everybody, we're not judging everybody, okay? If you want to be a good analyst, you cannot become a good analyst if you don't use a lot of those tools. Make sense? You don't need to use everything and anything, everybody, but building charts, it's essential for you to become a good analyst and learn probabilities. Does this make sense? I'm not saying do you agree with me, I'm asking does this make sense? Without charts you cannot predict. Make sense, everybody? You cannot predict probability, you cannot predict direction, you cannot predict short-term direction, long-term direction, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, everybody? Alright, so moving forward, now let me show you AUD CAD, everybody, on the 4-hour chart, right? Forget about the Fibonacci's, okay? Or let's pick another one, everybody. Let's go to, I'm going to show you my charts that I use for real, and I'm going to open euro dollar, just an example, and then we're going to talk about how the market behaves at support, resistance, pivot points. Chapter number 1 from the manual was called Market Structure and Trends. Chapter number 2, everybody, it's called Timing and Retracement Trading. Okay? Now forget about the Fibonacci's, and I'm going to diminish this one, you know. Everybody look in here, right? So you don't see the future, okay? And those horizontal lines that you are seeing, those are pivot points on euro dollar 4-hour chart, right? Now look at what the price action is going to do. You know, like we don't see the future. Can you see how the market reacts at the pivot point? Can you see, everybody? The market here, we're going to talk about how it, you know, in different ways, but can you see how the market went up, I mean down, boink, you know, it reacted, it went up, you know, and it's broke the pivot point, you know, it's not up in here, you know, and again, can you see, everybody? It's stalled in here and it goes from this pivot point. I have circles already. Now, can you see, look in here, everybody, you're going to see if you would short the market at the pivot point, look what, see everybody what happens? You're shorting the market at the pivot point, an example, you know, you would short the market on the 1-hour chart, 2-hour chart, 4-hour chart. There is no right or wrong, I'm not talking about strategy, but Alex saying without charting it's hard to find direction, exactly. So see, everybody, you know, it reacted here. Then it went, let's see how it goes, it's going to go, and I have a circle already, you know. Let's say that you are a day trader, short-term trader on the 5-minute chart, 15-minute chart, whatever, you know. Let's say that you're making money in here, you know, you're profiting from the short-term trend, whatever. Now, guess where the market is going to react or stall? So the market hit the pivot point, you know, and see the reaction? Isn't this curious, everybody, how this market works? Goes to the pivot point, react, goes to this pivot point, react, you know, breaks through the pivot point and goes down, you know, here, you know, goes down, and can you see, everybody, here again, went up, can you see it touched pivot point with this wick or tail, you know, it reacted. Isn't this, look in here. It went to this pivot point. Can you see, everybody, reaction? Isn't it curious how this market moves? I mean, price action. From this pivot point to this pivot point, can you see, everybody? Double bottoms in here. You know, can you see how here it's stalled? You know, we need to retrace, you know, it's retracing. Okay? Boss, what is the big deal? Those areas are predictable. That's the big deal. Those areas are predictable. Todd was asking on Teams, what's the big deal here? Todd, this market with support, resistance, pivot points becomes more predictable, right, everybody? So let me find classes. Zero class, okay. John, this is JForex 4. You might have, I have here JForex 4 and JForex 3. You know, it's for free. You can download on. You go just Google Dukascopy Investment Bank or JForex platform. Okay, everybody. Now, if you go to simple charts, what we talked about, you know that you should have your charts ready so far. Okay, so how the market moves at support, resistance, pivot point. Okay, and attention, support slash resistance slash PP, pivot point, are areas of potential reversals and not lines to the pip. Give me a second, I'm going to explain to you, everybody. Support, resistance, pivot points are areas of potential reversal, not lines to the pip. Nandozi, good morning, good morning, good evening, you know, Nigeria it's evening, right, I believe. Okay, so this is going to be support. Let's make it green and bold. Dark green, maybe not the best one. This is going to be support, everybody. This is going to be resistance. We're going to color coin red, and we're going to color red with tan, blue, whatever. Now it's this color. There is no right or wrong anyway. Okay, so how the market behaves, you know, at support, resistance, and we're going to have multiple. So let's go. Give me a second, everybody. I'm going to clone, trend, clone, and clone. All right. How the market behaves at support, everybody. The market is going to go from the upside to the downside. All right. The market is going to make lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. Lower low is going to hit the support and is going to react. Okay. Now bear in mind that those are areas. Okay. So even though we chart lines, okay, those are areas. So even though we chart lines, sometimes price action is going to do something like this and react. And you're going to get frustrated why the market is reacting because it didn't touch the pivot point or the support line. Because those are not lines, everybody, those are areas. Can you see it? It's an area. And sometimes it's going to frustrate you because the market is going to do something like this. And you are going to get out of the trade or you are going to buy. And then the market is going to break your line and then is going to reverse. And you are going to question again, oh, why the market stopped me out? Why the market this? Because you forgot that it's an area. It's not a line to the pip. Okay, everybody, never forget, those are areas, all right? Juan, are you here, Juan? Not sure if Juan, I have a class tomorrow with Juan. I'm not sure if Juan is here. Okay, everybody, so resistance is going to be similar to the support, but the difference is that the market is going to go from the downside to the upside, making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Is going to hit resistance like a ceiling, and then is going to react. All right, everybody. So this is the resistance. Talking about pivot points, we have two kinds of pivot points. Everybody, we have the bullish pivot point and we have the bearish pivot point, all right? And pivot points are simply the mix of support and resistance, okay? Okay, right, let's write this down. Give me a second. ABC, delete. So bullish pivot point, all right, like PP, you know. Bullish pivot point in here, up in here, and everybody, when you see two P's, you know, PP, this means pivot point, all right, to not to waste time. So there you have a bearish pivot point, everybody, bearish pivot point. Okay, now bullish pivot point, everybody, the market is going to go from downside to the upside, making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Is going to react, is going to retrace. So I'm going to change color in here to make it more visible. Then what is the difference between, so can you see, everybody, that pivot point, it's a mix, it's a mixture, it's a combination of, doesn't this look like resistance, everybody? You know, so some of you guys are completely new, this is resistance, you know, or like my friend Olivier from France says, resistance, this is resistance. And this is support. Yeah, I didn't see Olivier for quite a long time. I'm not, where is he? You know, yeah, Olivier is from France. So this is resistance, everybody. Can you see that resistance, it's the behavior, you know? So what is the difference between pivot point and resistance? After the initial, yes, after the initial retracement, everybody, the market is going to break through the pivot point. And again, I need to change colors. It's going to break through the pivot point and is going to retest it on the other side before it's going to continue to go up. Okay, this is the difference. So you can see that this is resistance and you can see that this is support, right? Can you see, everybody, how it's a combination of support and resistance, the pivot point? Okay, so this is the bullish pivot point, and now we have the bearish pivot point, which is it's the same logic, but it goes on the opposite side. It's going to make lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. It's going to react in some way. It's going to break through step number 2, and then it's going to retest, you know, before it's going to continue its way down. This is the specific of pivot points, everybody. And don't forget the retracement, you know, you are going to, give me a second, arrow. So you know how the pivot point works, and you are going to wait, you are going to stalk the market, you know, that you are going to wait, oh, once the market hits the band, you know, when the market hits the line, once the market hits the pivot point, I'm going to buy. Remember, those are areas. Sometimes price action is not going to hit, sometimes it does. Like I just showed you on euro dollar, remember? What's the time? Alright, so sometimes it does hit the line to the pip, you know, but sometimes it doesn't hit the line to the pip, makes sense? Sometimes it's not going to hit the line, sometimes it's going to break through the line, you know? Make sense, everybody? You are going to enter prematurely on the short side or whatever, and then you're going to have the stop loss up in here, and you're going to get frustrated. Oh, the market stopped me out on the pivot point. Pivot point, support. I'm going to tell you this thousands of times because you don't listen, everybody. You know, support, resistance, pivot points are not lines to the pip, are areas of potential reversal. Okay? Marcus is asking why potential, because there are no guarantees in the market. That's why. I mean, great question on Teams, but you know, that's the, you know. And those are your Teams, right? Always on Teams. Alex, are you on Teams too? Where you can talk to other traders and partner up and ask questions and debate charts and do this and this and that? Everybody connect on Teams. Some of you are saying, oh, I don't like Teams. I'm sorry, but can you see we have virtual office here? You know, this is for free. Pro Traders Max Bitbull, it's for free. You know, you have 29 traders in Mike Pitbull folder on Teams, everybody. You know, Market Wave Mastery, you have 13 traders to talk about. Fibonacci Mastery, you have 14 traders to talk about. You know, okay, everybody, connect on Teams. We are in virtual office, so in about 25 minutes we're going to close this class. So here the guys are talking charts, trading, you know, they're sharing sharing results, sharing accounts. Okay, everybody, connect on Teams if you can. I believe Nandozi and Olga, you are already on Teams, but Alex, not sure. Okay, and Juan, if you are going to watch the recording, please connect on Teams. All right, everybody. Yeah, some people say, oh, I don't like Teams. Well, then I need to send you emails with Google Meet for the courses and classes and so on. All right, everybody, if you can, connect on Teams. YouTube, everybody, Nandozi, Alex and Olga, any questions about support, how support works? Any questions how resistance works? And any questions how pivot point works, everybody? Any questions? We're going to explain the specific of the pivot point, and then we're going to go to charting, all right? On Teams 2, any questions, everybody? I mean, a lot of you guys, you've been to this class already for a few years. You're still in Forex course 101, you know. No question, boss. All right, let's talk about then, let's discuss, everybody, pivot points and trading, all right? As an analyst, what are you going to tell to your trader, all right? And we're going to use the bullish pivot point, okay? This is one of those classes that it's worth downloading from YouTube, everybody, and watch it a few times, alright? Okay. Let's say that this is the... Give me a second, everybody. Let's say that this is the daily chart, just an example, okay? Let's say that this is the daily chart, and you are the analyst, and your trader entered long on the 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour chart, you know, so 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, 15-minute chart, okay, which is you know, you are retail, you are the same person, you are the trader and you are the analyst, you know that there is, you can see it on the chart, there is a pivot point, all right, but you as the trader, you know, you went long in here, okay, you bought the market in here, which made total sense, you know, why not, right? The market is at, you know, it's trending up, and this is the, you know, this is the uptrend, making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and you bought the market up in here, all right? Are this reversal area the reason why the market waves? Great question. Yes, sure. But also the market wave because it must wave, right? But yes, the market reverses at those, okay? So everybody, you are here. Great question, Andozi. So you are here, everybody, buying, you know, on the 1 hour, 2 hour, 15-minute chart, whatever, okay? Now, let's talk about strategy. If you have the stop loss down in here, you know, now look what happens, why it's all about knowledge, all right, but why we lose or why we give portion of the profits back to the market, you know, if this is my entry and this is my stop loss is in the correct place, it's below the low of the uptrend. Make sense, everybody? This is my entry, and you know that for you to make money you must trade what is called risk reward ratio, 1 per 1.5 minimum. Agreed, everybody? Minimum. Agreed? You know, you can go Forex course, and again, no, Max, Forex course 202, it's a different story, alright? We are in Forex course 101 here. Okay, forget about Forex, everybody, the advanced institutional trader course, it's a different book to read. You cannot jump classes forward, alright? You cannot go from 1st grade to the 8th grade, it doesn't work. Okay, so you must understand the logic behind. It's a lot of information in this business, Max. You know, you need to go learn methodically, strategically. You know, what is the step number 1? Check. Step number 2, check. Step number 3, check. Make sense, everybody? This is the only correct way to learn this business. Alright? Now, talk to me, everybody. So I'm your trader, you know, this is my strategy that you know. If I'm going to enter at the counter trend line break, all right, this is my entry. You know that I'm going to have my stop loss down in here because I'm buying the short-term trend. This is now the low of this uptrend, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, you know. What would you tell me as an analyst? Should I enter the market, yes or no? Did it ring some bells? There is no right or wrong, everybody. Should I enter this market, yes or no? On Teams, yes, yes, no, absolutely not, no. Are you crazy? Entering the market at a pivot point? Yes, we have 3 yeses, no, no, zero chance, no. Yes, we have 4 yeses on Teams. So far there are 7 no's on Teams, no, no, I would not, no, no. On YouTube, hedge fund trader Olga, hedge fund trader Alex, hedge fund trader Nandozi, what do you think? What do you think, everybody? No, because we have a pivot point, plus 2 Alex. No, because, I mean, there is no right or wrong, but, you know, there is a pivot point, and you know, everybody, that 7 times out, not every single time, but 7 times out of 10, this market is going to retrace, right? Olga says also no at the pivot point, congratulations. Okay, now, what you must not do, everybody, when it comes to, so this is easy, right? It's common sense, we all understand. When it comes to trading, what does a retail trader do? And this is a retail trader issue. The retail trader is going to do like this, and is going to do like this. See what I'm doing with the profit? And is going to do like this. Okay, everybody? This is common error. Pat yourself on the back. You are messing with the strategy when you shouldn't. You are messing with the take profit when you shouldn't. And you are risking more than you are making. Okay? And that's common. Don't judge yourself. This is totally normal. But you must understand, everybody, that in doing this you are risking more than you are making, and you are changing strategies. Therefore, whatever result you get, your brain, it's not consistent in looking like, when your brain is looking at your trading, it's looking, okay, so this trade might be a winner, you know, what do I know? You know, the brain is thinking, you know, so we won, right? We put the take profit up in here and we won. Okay, so but your brain, when it's going to, I don't want to get too complicated on psychology. So when the brain records the memory, this trade goes to its, you know, it doesn't have consequence. Make sense, everybody? When you trade always in the same way, the brain is going to record the happenings like, oh, this is the same trade, this is the same trade, this is the same strategy, this is the same setup, this is the same setup, and this is where this is how consistency is built. Does this make sense? It's a retail trade. I'm sorry to tell you, but it's the truth. You can tell all the guys you know online, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. Make sense? This is a retail trader issue. Okay? Retail traders change strategies, mess with the stop loss, mess with the take profit. Makes sense? Why? Because I want to make some money, right? I want to make some money, you know? Not judging anybody, it's normal, but that's why I'm showing you. Can you see in here? You know, read this. Everybody, did you read? How many of you guys read this book? Ebook. You know? Mind trap number 5. I need to make money. It's a mind trap. It's a subconscious belief. Okay? We work on this stuff heavily in the advanced course. This business, after the Forex course 101, after the analyst part, this business becomes highly mental mindset. We are using charts, yes we do. We are trading strategies, yes we do. But this business, the result, what you do becomes evident that it's highly mental. Does this make sense, everybody? Okay. So pivot point in here, right? And then the market is going to make lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, you know. Now, if this is a pivot point and not a resistance, what are you going to tell your trader? He wants to short the market. Oh, we are changing trends. Can you see here? We were in an uptrend, right? The trader sees the analyst says, now you as an analyst, you know, or as a trader, you know, the market was in an uptrend. Now we are changing from the uptrend to a downtrend. And what are you going to tell your trader? To short the market in here? There is no right or wrong. See the difference between a resistance and a pivot point? Fair enough, Max. There is no right or wrong, but at least tell the guy risk less. Makes sense? Because we're up market wave. You know, this is not market wave, but we're up market wave, uptrend. So if you want to short the pivot point, short with less risk. Makes sense? Because if you're going to be stopped out, you know, okay. Now, how many of you are familiar with breakouts? Right? If you buy the market, once the market breaks out of the pivot point, what is going to happen 7 times out of 10? Everybody, I just told you how pivot point behaves, how price action behaves at pivot point. You are on the daily, you are looking at the daily chart. The daily chart breaks out. It's a breakout strategy. You know, I'm going to enter the breakout. I'm going to enter when the market makes a higher high. You know, now guess what is going, if you buy the breakout, guess what is going to happen on the 1 hour, 2 or 4 hour chart or 15-minute chart? On YouTube, give it a like, everybody. Please share this channel. It's for free. Help your friends to come here to learn, to debate, to challenge me. Boss, I don't agree with you. We love the non-believers. I told you already. The best way to learn is to challenge me with, I don't agree with this concept. I don't agree with this rule, you know. Okay, everybody. Help the channel grow. This is the minimum you can do for me, everybody. Not arrogant, you know. This is fair play, right? The minimum, because you have education for free, the minimum that you can do is help grow the channel. The market will retrace, applause to Nandozi, exactly. But when the market retraces on the daily chart, you know, remember you bought on the 1 hour and the market is, we had a class in the first chapter, everybody, first chapter from the manual, it's trends and market structure. And we had a class about multiple time frames. When you buy the 1 hour chart, the 15-minute chart, you know, whatever time frame, which is smaller time frame, whenever you buy the smaller time frame, but the daily is going to retrace, what is going to happen with your stop loss? Everybody, What do you think? On teams they're writing, I'm going to wait for YouTubers, hedge fund trader Olga, hedge fund trader Alex, hedge fund trader Nandozi. When you buy the breakout on the 1 hour chart, 2 hour chart, 4 hour chart, 50-minute chart, whatever, you know, and the daily, of course, you know, this is the daily chart. When the market breaks out, it's a breakout, you know, it goes through the pivot point. When you buy on the smaller time frames and the higher time frames start to reverse, what is going to happen? Plus Nandozi, you are going to be stopped out. Study the chart, study the pivot points, everybody, make sense? You need to study this, alright? And okay, let's go to charting. We're going to continue 2 more. There is 1 more, but we are almost out of time, everybody. So charting, okay? How you chart support, resistance, pivot points, everybody. Rule: you build your charts from the monthly chart. Oh yes, but period, end of story. Everybody, you need to go to the monthly chart, and whatever you are going to chart on the monthly chart, you are going to just replicate on the smaller time frames. Does this make sense? This is AUD daily chart, everybody. Forget about Fibonacci and so on. This is AUD daily chart. This is my chart. See those horizontal pivot points? All of, and support down here, all of those lines are from the monthly. Okay? On trading view, you are going to right click and sync in layout. On JForex, you are going to just copy the chart. Alright? You are going to build support, resistance, pivot points from the monthly. Alex says stopped out. Exactly. Stopped out. Everybody, okay? And how this goes? You are going to put a horizontal line, you know, and me for resistance, I'm using red, right? So I'm going to zoom in, okay? And I'm going to bring this line down. And what I'm looking for highs and lows, you know? So I'm going to bring this down, 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 down. Now I can see that these 2 candles, you know, these 2 candles, can you see, everybody? And yeah, this is a little bit subjective, you know, but still it doesn't matter if you leave it here, you know, or down here, you know. Okay, everybody? Some of you are sending me emails, oh, is this right, or is this right, or is this right? All of those are right because you remember that it's an area, right? So this is one. Then I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to bring it down, down, down. I'm looking for highs and lows, so here, this will be the second resistance in charting, alright, everybody? In charting, this will be the second resistance on euro-dollar monthly chart, just an example, okay? But I need to monitor also other candles, and here I'm going to take the third one, you know, and I'm going to bring it down slowly, 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 bam. Can you see here? Another high, right? The market hit the high here too, but that's, oh, and again, this is a high too. You know, this is resistance, right? And you can do the same on the lower side. You know, you color code like in this, and me for support, I'm going to have green. All right, so I'm going to bring up, 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 up. So down here, everybody, circle-wise, down here the market hit past support, right? And now I'm going to bring this one up, 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 up in here, you know, and can you see, everybody? Now is the, and then I need to go, I'm sorry, is the blue line, everybody, support, resistance, or a pivot point? What do you think? And then we're going to finish for today. See you tomorrow. Boss, can I bring you more students for Forex course 101? Sure, we're looking for traders, everybody. Just tell them to come here, it's for free, the menu is for free, you can ask questions. Is the blue a pivot point, support, or is... Boss, I don't know. Well, look at what you've learned. You look at the chart and look, is the line that you're looking at, is this behavior, is this behavior, or is this behavior? You have a low and you have a high, you know, joining forces in some area. Nandozi, boss, the support reveals that occurred 10 years ago. Can it still make market reverse? Potentially yes, Nandozi. Pivot point, Olga, exactly, everybody. So this is this low, it's connected with this high. Can you see, everybody? So this makes it the pivot point. Okay? Homework, start to build your charts with support, resistance, pivot points, everybody. Okay, some of you have jobs, businesses. Make one pair per. It's not that difficult, you just build once. Make sense, everybody? You build the monthly chart and then you just clone or copy or sync in layout in TradingView. Okay? If you build one monthly chart per day, in 27 days you have 27 currency pairs. Homework. Alright, everybody, see you back tomorrow. Thank you for your time. See you back tomorrow with another lesson 22. Until tomorrow, stay strong.